hope your day is full of candy apples and cobwebs and costumes and broomsticks and cauldrons. Gotta have cauldrons. And bats and darkness and eyeballs and eye patches and fangs. Gotta have fangs. Face paint. Fairies. I hope it's full of frightening moments and flashlights and plastic pumpkins. Halloween intro, you're welcome. You're fucking welcome. And witches and headstones and... that's it. I'm out of Halloween things. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Shank. We have an amazing episode this week with Steve Rannazzisi, but before we get into that, just a few things. Do you like smoking weed? I like smoking weed. And not just any weed. I like Absolute Extracts. Absolute Extracts sponsors this podcast. They're an amazing distillate brand. They make the top quality vape carts. They make amazing sublingual drops that I love, especially the sleepy time sublingual drops. You just put them underneath your tongue, and I'm telling you, they knock me right the fuck out. And I'm someone who has insomnia, so I can't stress enough how much this product has completely changed my life. Their sleepy time collection's really amazing. They come in soft gel capsules, they come in sublingual drops, and they also have vape carts that are specifically indica dominant for bedtime. So check them out, abx.org, or go to ease.com and enter discount code SHANK, SHENK, for 20% off. Also, for those of you who know me, I have a lot of anxiety. Why? Because I'm a human being that's alive on this planet, and there's a lot of things that happen that make me anxious. For example, Halloween, not really my thing. Not really into seeing people dressed up as the Joker. Seems like everyone's dressed up as the Joker lately just because of this movie, and it gives me fucking nightmares because I don't like clowns. And because of that, I rely heavily on CBD. That's right, CBD. I did get a text message just a second ago because I'm a busy woman living my life, and that happens. So if you heard that ding, that's just me addressing what's happening. Anyways, anxiety. I have it. Why? Because I get a lot of text messages, unimportant text messages. And what do when I have anxiety? I dose myself with CBD, and not just any CBD, Care by Design. Go to cbd.org and you can look at all the different Care by Design CBD products that they offer. There's amazing sublingual drops. Those are personally my favorite. You just put a few drops underneath your tongue, and it's really great for anxiety. I can't recommend it enough. They also make really amazing topicals if you have muscle stiffness or joint pain. Those work really great as well. So if you're someone who's suffering from anxiety and you're not interested in THC, check out Care by Design, cbd.org. Also go to ease.com. You can search Care by Design there and enter discount code SHANK, SHENK, for 20% off. And thank you guys so much for continuing to support my podcast. If you're enjoying it, please, please, please leave a review on iTunes. That's how people find out about the show, and I want it to continue to grow. And make sure to subscribe, rate, and review. And if you have any fashion questions, you can always email shank, shenk.pod@gmail.com. Okay, guys, thanks so much. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Shank. I'm Sara Weinshenk, and today's guest is Steve Rannazzisi.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on. I'm super excited to have you on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You have some fun socks on. I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't know this was video as well.
I don't know.
So I look like I just got out of like a small claims court situation. I'm dressed like Billy Hoyle from White Man Can't Jump, and I have got a back brace on as well. So,
but you're making it fashion.
Well, my wife said it could be like what a Kardashian wears underneath her stuff.
Yeah, like a waist
because look
trainer.
At this. Yeah, like look, because it's got separate spots. Like it's not just like it opens here, but then this
shit.
Like super tight, little bit of tight.
Right.
That kind of support. Because I had spinal surgery 2 weeks ago. So
really, what happened?
Well, I herniated a disc. You know the discs that go in between your... Yeah, so one of them blew out, the L5S1, the one between there.
Oh, shit.
And in there is your sciatic nerve. You know what that is? That's
Yes.
the one that shoots down your left leg.
Yes.
So then was just sitting on top of that, just pushing on that.
That hurt so bad, huh?
So for months, I was just shooting pain down my left leg. And eventually I was in Scotland for a month doing shows. So then it was like I just had to grin and bear it. And then I got back and went to doctors.
Immediately?
I landed I took a flight from Scotland, Ireland, and New York straight to the emergency room.
Really?
I went to the emergency room in Scotland, which wasn't that bad. It was quick. It was like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But they gave me like ibuprofen, and that's it. Then you're on your own.
So was it different than like your experience in an emergency room in California?
Yeah, because I was like, I need drugs ASAP.
Right.
And I'm not some sort of, like, because I felt like a foreigner in Scotland. I didn't want to be like, I need more than this.
Right.
I think they're gonna look at me like some sort of pill addict that needs just like coming.
Some
in here.
American pill addict.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, I was really like just bad pain. But when I got here, I was like, no, I've had this surgery before. You can look up the records.
Right.
Like you can look up, like, because I had the same surgery that I had a couple weeks ago, 20 years ago.
Okay.
And so I'm like, there's a history. Like there's a history here. So like, I'm not bullshitting you. Help me out.
Right.
In my own country, help me out, please.
In my own country.
Yeah.
Well, so what were you doing in Scotland? I think were you doing a one-man show?
I was doing a one-man show. Yeah. I was part of the Edinburgh Fringe Fest.
Okay, so can you explain how that works? So I
still don't know.
You don't really know?
I was there, but I was
there?
I know how my part works. I was sort of shepherded through the process by someone who's been there before. And so I'm not, if you have a lot of questions, I might not be the person to ask, but I can tell you how it worked for me.
Yeah, tell me how it worked for you.
So I wrote a story for Ari Shafir's Storyteller Show.
Okay.
This past January.
Okay.
And so, depending on where this comes out, 2019, I don't know.
This?
Yeah, whenever.
This will come out in 2018.
Okay. So this past January, I wrote a story for his show. We did it, and then he's like, this is really great. This should be part of, like, you can make this into a one-man show. I think you should take this to Edinburgh, which he had been there before. So he sort of found me a promoter last minute because submissions had already almost ended. And so I got a promoter, I got a room through him.
Okay.
Which I know is not easy to do on your own. And then I got a time. So you get a time, you get a room, and I did it free. So like I was like, because I'm writing this and I don't know if this is going to be good or if this is going to be anything.
Right.
Let's make it free.
Okay.
That way there's no skin off anybody's back. If you don't like it, you leave. And that way you didn't pay anything. There was like nothing even happened. No transaction was necessary.
Okay.
So the room was free for people, but I had to pay for the room and stuff. So I wrote the show, and then I went to Scotland. And right when I got there is when my back started bothering me, coincidentally, and then right before it. And so and then you get your time, and then my show was at 4:30 every day in this room. And I did my one-man show every day, and people just showed up. I had you can hire people to flyer for you.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know you had to do that.
I didn't. That's
till
cool.
Like 2 weeks before, which is like way too late to have anyone do that.
Really?
Yes, way too late. Like the Brits have it. Like in January, they're not thinking about their show yet.
Okay.
February, they start thinking about like the title and like they submit it.
Okay.
Right. They put it in. They get their venue, but like the shows, like they get their. It's almost like the show's the secondary thought, like the venue, how big, where it is, and what time. Like those
so there's
are like
a lot of planning that goes in.
So there is a lot of planning that like because you want you don't want to be
fucked.
Yeah, nobody wants to be fucked when they don't want to be fucked. But
you
don't want to go on at like 2:00 in the morning unless you do want to, and that's when you want to be able to like get that time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My show, what I was doing, would not work at 11 p.m. in front of a really raucous drunk crowd.
Right.
So I knew I needed something on the earlier side. So, but by the time I got into it, there were a few slots. So my show was at 4:30, which is actually a great time because shows happen literally from 8:00 in the morning till 4:00 in the morning. There are comedy shows that go on at 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's crazy.
Stand-up comedy shows.
And do people go to them?
Many.
Wow.
Many people.
That's
some of them
crazy.
are pay. Some of them are like pay what you want at the end, which is what my show was.
Okay.
So at the end of the show, which was a weird thing to do.
Like, hey.
A very strange thing to do. At the end of the show to go like, hey, like, can you give me money for what we just did? Like, it was a weird sort of thing. Like, I know this is free and you don't have to and no one's obligated, but it felt weird to do that.
Right.
For a lot of reasons.
Why?
Well, one, because like I've never, like, it's always been like I've always told the jokes and it was all settled beforehand.
Yeah, it's like asking for a tip.
Yeah, I've never asked for a tip.
Yeah.
I've gotten tips doing stand-up. You know, like you do a like some fucking drunk idiot who wants to impress someone comes over and says, here's an extra 20. You know what? I take those.
Good.
You should. Those. Yeah. Plus, then it's like, I mean, but you want money because you just did something. Like,
right, and because you didn't ask for money up front.
Yeah.
And it's like you're being fair because you're like, give what you want.
That's it. What I did was, and like, again, guided by a couple people being like, giving me advice. Like some of the British comedians who have done it before, like they know exactly how to do it. They don't sugarcoat it. They're like, I fucking killed. You know, like and it's great. Like it's almost like it would be interesting to see here, like if at the end of everyone's spots in the OR every 15 minutes you had like ask for your money, like to see how the different people would handle it.
Yeah.
Like they were like Jezelnik styles where it's like, you know what I just did here. Like give me money.
Yeah.
And I was just like, look, I don't know. This is a $20 show in America.
Do what you want.
Do what you want. Give what you want. In lieu of giving money, if you don't have money, just tell someone.
Give me your watch.
Yeah. Give me, you know, a body part. A valuable body part. Yeah, so then and then it had,
a disc.
You know, mine was more about like lies and stuff. So like, you know, I was like, just tell me about the worst thing you've ever done. And then, you know, like, I'll forgive you.
Well, so question. Oh, like kind of like a priest.
My brother's a priest. That's what. Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
Your brother's a priest?
He is. Yeah.
In the Catholic Church?
He is.
Really?
Yeah.
I went to Catholic school.
Me too.
You did?
Yeah.
In where?
In New York.
In New York?
We're in a Catholic school sure right now. My kids go to Catholic school.
Really?
Yep.
Your kids go to Catholic school in LA? That's crazy. What was your experience going to Catholic school?
You know, strange. I went in the it was like mid 80s to early 90s was my Catholic school. I went to 9th grade, so it was kindergarten through 9th grade.
Okay.
But like I was in high school, but I left after 9th grade. I was like, this is too much for me. It was like a mutual decision that I leave
Catholic school.
Like,
why? Because I went from kindergarten.
Just done. Oh, sorry.
I went from kindergarten to 12th grade.
You went all the way through.
It was hell.
Yeah.
It's hell.
Did you go to like the same school, like the same building, or did you leave after 8th grade and everybody got funneled into another school?
Everyone got funneled into a different school, but I went from kindergarten through 8th grade
with
the same school.
People.
And I was like, I hate everyone.
Here's what. Okay, here's the value that I get out of it.
Okay.
And for why I put it's a great education.
The education is great.
For the value of what you're paying.
Yes, that's why I went.
Okay, so what I'm saying is like there are people that pay $40,000 a year per child, per grade, for their school.
For a private school. Not religious.
That is not religious. That is just a private school.
But that's $40,000 a year.
Well, no. That's per child. I have 2 children.
No, there's just
so that's $80,000 a year.
That's crazy.
One child in 5th grade and one child in 2nd grade, and then every year it goes on. And then I have to go to high school, and then I have to pay for college. But so my point is this: like the value. I'm looking at the value of what I'm getting for my dollar. I like the sense of community. Okay, I like being like, hey, I got your back, you got mine. There's that. I know how to filter out a lot of the religious stuff that it doesn't really apply to his life or their life in a sense, and also like I knew like, oh, later on, like, oh, I didn't need to know that stuff. So like we don't really get into like if he doesn't get 100 on the religion test because he doesn't know the 4 chapters of Mark's.
He's not grounded.
It's not the biggest deal in the world.
Right.
So all that other stuff. But what you're getting from it made sense to me.
Do you guys go to church as a fam?
Not always. We do, you know.
Do you have
It's
to?
not
'Cause
like
you
we don't go. I mean, look, for our school, it's like you can be, it's sort of like a pay structure. The more you pay, the less you have to do. If you are not even Catholic and you don't even just want to send your kids to school there, you never want to show up.
Fine.
You never want to. Yeah, it's X amount of dollars. We'll still take the money, but like, you know, we volunteer because we would have volunteered had they gone to whatever school.
Right.
You know.
Right.
That's just what we would have done anyway. So, but the more you volunteer and the more you don't look. There's ways you don't have to go now.
You don't have to go to church.
Look, there's a website called Faith Direct, right?
Faith Direct.
Faith Direct, and it's almost like a Venmo for the church. Like every week the money comes out.
No, this is
so like, you know, you
there's
go
a
to church and like they put like the envelope in. That's all the track. Like you got your own envelopes. Remember your family got envelopes.
Yes.
That's all the track if you went to church or not. They want to just make sure they're
Right.
getting that money. Now look, there's the face to face, but I'm charismatic. What I make it when I'm there, people remember, and then like they don't really remember to the next, and then it's like, oh, was he there? Or was he not there? I don't remember.
Yeah.
So but as long as they get the little every month,
that's all they care about.
that's all they really care about.
Well, so okay, question. Back to the one-man show. So
Yeah.
what made you decide to do a one-man show, and how would you say that's different from stand-up? Like, what do you include in that?
It's funny you ask because I just came out of a meeting about it, but and we were just talking about that very specific thing because, look, what made me do it, me personally, was I had a pretty big event happen with me and my life with my whole story about 9/11 and stuff. So
Yeah.
And it's been 4 years, and so I've kind of dealt with it in different ways, and so the catalyst was really Ari kind of like was telling like the theme of this weekend stories is lies, and so like kind of leaning into me to being like, you know, you can get 12, 15 minutes together of this and kind of get it out because I know
Right.
you want to, and we've talked
Right.
about it. And so when I did it, you know, it was like it felt like doing stand-up for the first time ever again. So that's how I know it was different, because I was like, oh, this is not stand-up. And it's not like storytelling isn't really stand-up as well, but the way I do it kind of is. If you pack it with jokes and stuff. So the format of that is not uncomfortable to me, but this was uncomfortable.
Because it was vulnerable.
So
vulnerable.
And not even vulnerable because like I can act too, and I've done a lot of stuff that's vulnerable.
Right.
But it's not me.
Right. So this is just
So
you
yeah.
be unloading
Yeah.
a very vulnerable thing that happened and presenting it to an audience. And so when you're doing it, are you acting like in different characters?
That time, no. That time was
Okay.
like, you know, the most organic way you
Right.
tell a story. It's like, I said this, and then they said this, and then you did this. And then coming from that,
Right.
and then writing it, now it's become a thing where it's now, I don't know. I mean, like I look at it, it's almost on the line of, and for people that I like valued people that I've shown it to, it's like 50-50, almost exactly 50-50, where you're like 50% of this is stand-up comedy that lives and dies in a comedy club, just funny jokes and funny moments, but they are attached to 50% of like, don't serve drinks right now, like no moments, you know, like where you're like, don't, like you can hear a pin drop and you can feel it.
So it's like vulnerable moments mixed
Yeah.
in with like
Yes.
stand-up. So
Yes.
it's not just
No.
stand-up. So that's why you would
But-
consider it a one-man show.
Yes, but I also don't see it being done or completed or presentable until it goes through a run of certain comedy clubs, like a
Okay.
weekend where it can kind of just do comedy clubs, presented in the form of being like, this is not just stand-up comedy. This is like but like it has the flow of like, you know, like it can live in a comedy club where
Right.
there's not like moments where it's not popping and not working. So
Right. So
I mean, that's where it is right now. But getting back to Edinburgh was the most valuable thing ever.
So how many days in a row did
So I
you
did
do
17 shows. Yeah, seven.
And
Yeah.
how long is the show?
Well, you get an hour,
Okay.
so you can do whatever you want. I mean, like they tell you like how to present it, like as far as like advertising. Is it a 10-minute show? Is it a half-hour show?
Okay.
I said it was, between a 45 and a 60-minute show. I literally didn't know what it was going to be going. I did it twice at Flappers.
Okay, that seems like a safe place to do it.
At that Yoo-Hoo room.
Yeah, the Yoo-Hoo room. Yeah, it's a safe space.
And I filmed it, and it was like sort of funny and not funny and weird and awkward. A lot of awkward.
I've had some awkward moments in the Yoo-Hoo room.
Really, yeah. But like, what I like about it is like there's that side door. You feel like you just bust out of that door.
Yeah, and never
and
come
just run
back.
down the street, and that's it. No one's ever seen you.
Yeah,
like,
it never happened.
But yeah, I did it twice there. So I was like, because I have to know if like, because it's not something that you can just run and do, because I didn't want people to see it, but I had to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So, but I thought that Scotland was a great place to kind of get it on its feet because of this sort of the ability to run it and have it be, a different audience every night, and you have. I mean, if you go for the full run, you do 30 shows in a row. 30 shows in a row.
That's crazy.
Same time, same place, every single night. And you can work an hour that you're going to go shoot a special for, like Dan Soder was doing there this year doing it. And you could just see it getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And,
That's amazing.
Unbelievable.
That's like invaluable to be
really,
able to.
And also, it's invaluable for what I was doing to see if this was something that I even ever wanted to do again.
And so where are you with it now?
So basically what happened was I got there, I started my run, and I did my shows, and every night it was different and different experiences with people after, and some were just terrible and some went really well, and I filmed them all and I taped some of them, and at the end of it I came back, and when I got back to America, that's like when the back pain just was like, I can't deal with this anymore. I literally put the show on the shelf.
Right.
And started dealing with my back.
Right.
And then like the last month I was like, oh, I see a finish line where I knew I had a surgery date, and I started opening up the show again, and since then it's like, oh, this is a fully formed hour that I didn't realize I had now in front of me.
That's so cool.
That's not great, that's not done, that's not perfect, that's not even presentable under any circumstance. But it is I can do it. I'm not going to throw up when I say this stuff anymore or feel like I want to throw up.
Right.
Today, I mean, I might again, because this is not like a normal stand-up in the sense where it's like you got to keep running this thing to keep it a tightly wound Swiss watch.
Right.
There are parts of it that are like janky. And so they're like, but the awkwardness is sort of what is working right now, because what I'm talking about, if it came off like
if it was so
slick,
tight and rehearsed, then it wouldn't seem genuine.
No.
And it is. So
yeah, so that's why I work on it in chunks, and then I put it away for a little while, and then I'll tinker with it now, and I'll start to see if I can throw more jokes on it, and then I plan on like doing like one or two more times at small places around LA before the end of the year, and then maybe like festivals next year, like Australia for like a week.
Wow.
Like a couple of the comedy festivals, and then just do it like that, and then a couple cities.
Do you think you'll ever like tape it?
Yeah, maybe if it's good enough, and I think it could be.
Yeah.
So I think it would be something that people would want to see. So
yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think that it's really cool that you took something that was kind of negative and you're using it to do something positive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and I think people will relate to, I don't know.
I think people will relate to it.
I think people, you say to yourself, okay, well, if you take this thing out of what it's about and you put yourself in someone else, if you have the ability to go like, all right, let's put that aside for a second and go, let's look at what this guy's talking about and see if I can put myself in a situation. I think that you would enjoy what you're seeing.
I mean, I think anytime that you're vulnerable, I think people can relate to that. More than we think, especially like as stand-ups, it's hard sometimes to be vulnerable because comedy can be like a defense mechanism. So I think it's cool to be able to see like the more vulnerable side.
Yeah, and look, and I'm not the kind of comedian or the stand-up that's like, I'm not like I never was like a Richard Pryor who can, I talked about like the funny anecdotal things that happened in my life that I can kind of piece together and make jokes about, but like it wasn't like like when he burns himself and he just gets on and starts talking about it like right away, and like it almost had to be backdoored in through a one-man show for me to kind of be able to, and under the guise of a one-man show, to be that open with what I'm talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense because for me, like talking about personal things on stage, like it's hard for me to not get emotional or feel weird. But like being funny on stage, like that feels safer.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I wanted to talk about something vulnerable, I get what you're saying. Like making it a one-man show feels like you can be more genuine.
Also, when you think people might hate you.
What do you mean?
Like, if you just have a thing where you're doing a one-man show about having, I had, whatever, I had an eating disorder or something like that, where people feel bad for you. But like what I'm talking about specifically, people might just be like, and I still feel like people are like, fuck this guy. Like I'm like almost reveling in the fact of like what you might be going through. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's whatever. That's all stuff you deal with, and I can put that aside. But I'm just saying, like it makes you think twice sometimes about getting like vulnerable. It makes me think about getting that vulnerable.
Right, but I think that it's like, I think it's smart because it's like, why not address it head on like you're doing?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's it now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I kind of get into the why now and everything in the middle of it. But yeah, it's like, I don't know why everyone's going to find out, or people don't really care anymore. So, but for me, the show's mostly about like my personal experience from when everything came out throughout till now.
Right. I mean,
and so it's everything like that I own,
which
is the mistake on,
Yeah, which is good because humans make mistakes all the time.
Do we?
We do. You know what I mean?
But I'm glad that I got it. It broke my back, I think.
Edinburgh?
Yeah, because like I started writing, I was doing the show and thinking about it, but like Edinburgh, like that was the reality of the date of like when this thing, like when you got to hand your homework in, essentially.
Yeah,
so,
like crunch time.
Yeah, everything was okay, and then when I got there, I was like, oh boy, and then that's when my back started bothering me, and then I read this book when I got home. Called The Mind Body. Dr. Sarno is the guy that wrote it.
Okay.
Basically connecting back pain in your mind to traumatic events. So essentially it's like you don't have a slip disc that's sitting on your nerve. That's always been there, or maybe it was there 3 weeks ago before the pain started.
Okay.
What you have is some sort of repressed issue going on, a repressed anger.
Okay.
That has not manifested itself, that your brain is going, okay, we can't deal with this, so set off the alarm in that thing.
That's
subconsciously.
Crazy. Yeah.
And it breaks it down. And like, look, I also had a surgery date on the books.
Okay.
So I was like, look, I'm going to read this book.
Right.
I'm going to also keep this surgery date.
Right.
Whichever gets me pain-free, I'm going. And then actually, I ended at the book, and the surgery date came, and I'm pain-free, thank God. Thank God. I think about like, oh, like the next time I feel any pain in my back, I'm going to be like, I'm going to it from a mental aspect next time, because everything's sort of
connected.
Yeah, and then people are like, "Well, I had a friend like, oh, like why wouldn't you have back pain when like everything happened when like all the stuff came out?" And I was like, "Well, because I'm like maybe because I was like letting kind of stuff go, like it was almost like freeing myself of,
right.
like people like everyone knew everything, so like there's no more like stress of like having a piano hanging over you,
yeah.
So but like, look, it could be all fucking bullshit. My doctor would tell me I physically cut out a piece of your spine that now doesn't sit on the nerve. Yeah. And that's why you don't feel pain anymore. You fucking moron.
But
it could be the fact that I cured myself.
It's true.
Mentally.
Yes, you cured yourself mentally.
And that's why I probably don't even need this, even though I'm not taking it off.
Oh my God, if you just took it off and started like doing jumping jacks, that would be crazy.
I do feel fine now.
That's good.
But yeah, like I do, like I'm like it did make a lot of sense that like mentally I might have had some issues.
I mean, mentally we all do, right? To some degree. It's a lot to live in this world.
Yeah, it really is, and I seek help.
I seek help too. I have a therapist.
I have a therapist as well.
Yep.
I'm now doing couples therapy.
Okay.
So we've got multiple therapy.
You got
have
therapy.
therapy.
So how often are you in therapy?
Well, I go once a month now.
Oh, see, I go twice a week right now.
Good goodness.
Right? I feel like I've worked through my issues. Like my last meeting with my therapist, I was just like, I have nothing to talk to you about today. Like,
Really?
I don't want to keep digging. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we've worked through some shit. I want to reduce the amount of time.
I'm at the point with my therapist now where I think about like stand-ups. Like when I get angry throughout the month, I write it down why, and then I just let it during our session. I let her know why all the stuff I'm angry about.
You have like a
I
whole...
keep a little list.
A list?
Yeah.
I like that.
Unless it just happens where I ramp up in anger right to the time where our appointment is.
There's nothing better than that. When some shit goes down right before the appointment, you're like, thank you.
It's like makeup sex.
Yeah. You're like, I needed this
We
so
needed rage behind this to make it work.
Yes. The worst is when you go to therapy and you're like, I don't really think I have anything to talk about.
It's like, fuck.
You're like, yeah.
Because my fear of small talk is almost, that's why.
Small talk?
I don't like it. I hate it at all.
Well, like,
I don't like doing it. Like, you don't have kids, but you got to do it when you meet new people.
I was thinking that.
And kids and, birthday parties. And all of a sudden, my son starts to play with Tom. It's like, oh, I'm Tom's dad. Hey, how are you? And then you're like, and 4 minutes later, I don't remember his name. I'm terrible with names. I don't remember his name. Then someone comes over. I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh, this is Tom. This is Tom's dad. Because I don't remember his fucking name.
Yeah.
And it just is debilitating. And it sticks with me. And what makes me happy and socially comfortable is pot, but that doesn't help your brain function to keep everyone's name
at a kid's party.
Whatever it is, yeah. Dude, I have no problem with it. You earn it, you get to do it. So, as long as everybody gets there safely, let's go have some fun at Tom's birthday party.
Yeah.
But, I just small talk. I'm not.
I hate it too. It's bad. Like, small talk with regular people who aren't comedians. Like, I don't know. Like, I went to a bridal shower, and I was like, I don't have anything to talk to these women about. Like, they're all amped that this bitch is getting married, and they're all, like, exchanging stories, and, like, there's, like, a theme and games we're playing, and I'm just sitting
I got
there.
about 30 minutes of normal conversation in me. Because here's the problem. What used to be normal conversation was like you can get into a little bit of politics, you can get a little bit of like pop culture stuff, some ticky-tacky stuff.
Yeah,
now you can't touch anything. So I'm talking about down the middle, clean material, if you're going to say.
Like
clean,
what?
straight up the road, and not boring weather shit. I'm talking about
petting zoos. Like what do you talk about with parents?
I'll because they know I'm a comedian. You hit them with a little bit of like you'll make a joke about a pet if you're at a petting zoo, or whatever, for a birthday party. You make a joke about an animal, so they'll let everyone know you're not cool. You're cool. You're not a narc.
Yeah.
And then, then you just gotta You gotta keep that small because you can't go like off color. Then you gotta know where the guardrails are.
This is too much. Like small talk with children and like their parents.
And and then not slipping off into just possibly offending someone about something. Because look, you could be an advocate for whatever you want. I mean, you can't offend anyone. If you do, that's their problem. But my wife doesn't feel that way. And it's hard, it's hard to argue like you offended that person or you might have offended that person.
Right.
So, you live with that. Like, that's a tough thing. I don't want to, having the fear of that going into these things. That's another reason why it's like, I'd rather just not do it.
Like,
I have
you
a lot
have
of friends.
Fear of saying the wrong thing at a
yes.
See,
and not just the wrong thing, but like passing the ball around, like if we were like doing the color game, like red, yellow, what, ultraviolet, like saying like the thing, like all right, why is everyone out like just saying like
ultraviolet?
Yeah, whatever, like the one like whoa, like you didn't have to go there, right? Like whatever that is, like I don't want to be. I want to be vanilla. I don't want to be noticed. I don't want to be clocked. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? So I just rather be background.
Because I feel like if I'm someone else, if I'm the parent of another kid and my life is like, I'm an accountant, right? And I get around you and you're a comic. I'm like, oh, this guy's fun. I want to
it's
know
great.
what's going on with him. Like, I feel like people probably seek you out to like connect in a way, and it's uncomfortable.
Sometimes, yeah. Like
and
we
that
had
sounds uncomfortable.
sports bars.
Yeah.
I don't do those.
Sports bars?
Can't do them.
Why? Too much.
Too much. Because they want to know like football advice and fantasy football advice. Like it's just it becomes a thing where you're like, everyone wants like just small talk out the wazoo.
That sounds awful.
And they feel like they have a 7-year connection.
Right.
Of like, but we've talked fantasy football for 7 years, and
you're like, no, we haven't.
And it sucks sometimes in my heart because I'm like,
it sucks
I don't want to
to
offend anyone, but like I just don't really so I just avoid it. Like I don't go.
Right. So you don't go to sports bars, but how many fantasy leagues are you in?
4.
Do you get
I can't kick it. Well, this is the first year I'm actually playing again. Like we stopped, and then I was like, I had to go away for a while.
You had to take a break?
I had to take a break.
Okay.
Because it was just like, it was too much.
Right.
But I did like it. I do like it. I liked it before.
Right.
But then I was like, I'm going to just watch the Giants, the New York Giants, which is my favorite team.
Right.
But they have coincidentally sucked ass in the last
few years.
So now I'm like, I got that old itch back.
Okay.
And so this year I just dove all the way in. So 4 leagues. I'm gambling every weekend.
You're in 4 leagues?
4 leagues, and I'm gambling now too.
So are you loving it?
I kind of am. I am.
Okay.
I do enjoy it. You know what it is? Like, look, it's with what's going on right now. I have a lot of downtime.
Yeah,
so it's filling in a lot of downtime for me. I'll say that it's a really nice fill-in for downtime. Gambling is a great addiction to get to if you have a back problem. You just lay on your couch. You can watch every game. You can make every bet from your phone. It's no big deal.
Okay.
So just saying, if you're out there and you got a back issue, you may want to start gambling.
Start gambling. You heard it here.
Yeah. But, I mean, for me, I'm like, I watch sports for the most part anyway, so
right.
Have fun with it. But, yeah, I mean, when I'm busy and I'm working and all that stuff, it's like I'll have weeks where I'll forget to set my lineup, which is something you have to do every week in fantasy football.
Yeah, well, we can't have you forgetting to set your lineup. What would happen then?
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like this year I've got more time, which has led me to, overstress myself with having 4 leagues. It's way too much to
Do you
have.
watch any other shows? Have you watched any shows recently?
Yeah, I watch a lot of shows. Do you watch Succession?
Oh my God, yes. So good.
This
so
podcast is going to take a turn right
now. So good.
It is fantastic.
It's
and
my
if they
favorite
don't spin
show.
Off Greg and Tom.
What?
Greg and Tom.
Oh, yeah. They need their own show.
They need their own situation. They really do.
It's the best show.
From the song all the way through to the very end. I'm a little depressed it's over now.
I don't even know what to do with myself. Because I don't have anything to look forward to. It was my Sundays.
Because Sunday is like my big TV
oh, yeah,
day. Do you have Sundays TV? Do you want me to break down mine?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm old, so I do 60 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you should do 60 minutes too, by the way.
No.
Everyone should do 60 minutes.
I'm not doing 60
minutes. And here's
why,
okay? They cover a lot of different variety. Like, they're going to cover pop culture, but you should know a little bit about some shit. So
it gives me anxiety.
But, okay, so that's like I'm going to be a good person this week. Okay, I got to figure out what I'm going to get done. But then, so you take your edible, then you watch 60 minutes so while it's not kicked in yet, right?
Okay.
You're like, all right. And then Succession starts.
Succession after an edible is one of my favorite activities.
Yeah.
It's the best combo.
I've timed it now perfectly, almost to where the music trickles off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here we go. I also do The Affair on Sunday. We've
okay,
just wrapped
I haven't
that
seen
up. I like the Righteous Gemstones on HBO.
Is that good?
I love it. First of all, I love everything Danny McBride does.
Okay.
I also I love Adam Devine, and I'm buddies with Tony Cavallero, who plays the crazy ex-Satanist, his sidekick, who I think is a breakout character. So, but yeah, no, I think the show's funny as well. So I'm thinking is that all my Sunday? Or
well, and football.
Football all day.
So it's football. So Sunday's like your day.
Sunday is a great. Well, I start with Meet the Press in the morning.
Let's Meet the Press.
Wait, what did you say?
I said, let's Meet the Press. Is that like
it's
some
the
football
longest
shit?
running You asked me if I watch television shows, and I just said I watched the longest running television show.
Meet the Press?
Yes.
What's that?
It's a morning show. Okay, all right. First of all, I don't know how far back I have to go here. You know there's news, right?
Oh, yeah. I know that there's... I've heard
But,
about news.
So Sunday morning, they do
Right.
this big thing where they're like, let's kind of wrap up and talk about everything that happened this week. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Right? So every network does like a morning show.
Okay.
Their version of like, let's get some people together and talk about it. Hash it up. And we'll get some guests, and it'll be,
Right.
people can watch this with coffee in the morning.
Okay.
So NBC's version of that is Meet the Press.
Okay.
And they've had many different. I've watched when I was about to say Dick Gregory, David Gregory was the host, and Tim Russert growing up. So I watch it still.
Okay.
And so yeah, I do that. And then football comes on. No, it's that. Then 9 o'clock, I do my fantasy football stuff where I tinker stinker. I take a crap and I tinker with my lineups.
You tinker with your lineups on the toilet.
Yep.
In the morning.
Yep.
After Meet the
Something
Press?
that we brought to the league, the tinker stinker. Yep.
Okay.
And then it's Meet the Press, breakfast, a little grains, and then boom, tinker stinker 9 to 10.
Okay.
10 o'clock, the Red Zone channel comes on.
Oh,
Here we
shit.
go all day long.
Okay.
10 to 4. If I'm interested in the night game, I stick around, but then I might want to be a dad.
Okay.
So then I check in with the fam for a while.
Okay.
Right? We dig it up. Nightly dinner.
What
7
does
o'clock.
We dig it up mean?
We dig up the ground to bury the bodies. I don't know. No, I'm saying we get together. We go on a hike. We'll go. You
do
family stuff.
Okay.
Do a big dinner. We all love AFV, which we watch every Sunday.
What's AFE?
Oh my God.
What's AFE?
Sarah, I was going to tell you, by the way.
What?
I love your Instagram feed, and I learn
you.
a lot about music because I love your choice in music. I've never
Thank
heard
you.
a single song you've ever chosen.
Thank
but
you.
I go and listen to them after.
Yes.
But I feel like you need to learn a little something from me, and I'm going to teach you
Okay.
about old people stuff today.
Okay, I'm learning
Another
so much.
60 Minutes in AFV, America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh, America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah, it's called AFV now.
AFV. I didn't know the fucking abbrev.
Yeah, well, it's
Shit.
been on for 40 years, so they abbreviated it.
I didn't know it was still on.
It's on, and
I
it's
didn't know
hilarious.
60 Minutes and
It's like
America's
YouTube.
Funniest Home Videos were still on. It's like YouTube.
No, I'm kidding. But it's like, it really is.
That's such a funny way to explain America's Funniest Home Videos.
It really is. I mean, the YouTube's diluted it completely. Half the videos you've already seen before. But it's funny to, first of all, I love to watch my kids laugh. So
Okay.
either I'm doing, and it's an hour for me off, which you would think, but I now do the voices. Like, I'll do funny voices of like background in the.
You're good at voices. I've heard you do some voices and you're really good at it.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, so I'll do like funny. So it's like a funny hour we all do together. It's
Family time.
Yup, family time, and then everyone goes to bed, and then the edible.
Yeah.
Then I watch 60 Minutes.
Okay.
And then straight to Succession. My wife and I watch The Affair together. She doesn't watch Succession because she's not as smart as we are.
She's got to watch it.
I told her
She's got to give it a chance.
I mean, look, I don't know what you could be missing if you like there's something for everyone in that show. It's funny. It's
so funny.
I mean, it's twisty enough that I'm like, but it's not too twisty where I'm like, I'm too stupid to watch this show.
No,
like,
but it makes me feel
I didn't watch
smart.
Game of Thrones
because
I was like, I'm too dumb for this.
Oh yeah, Game of Thrones, no clue.
Can't remember who the Targaryens are and who these people are.
I don't
give
like
me one
fantasy.
family, I can remember 8 names.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Easy to remember names too.
Kendall.
Ken. Yeah.
Shiv.
Yeah.
Roman. I've always had I told, you know who else loves the show? Chelsea Skidmore.
Oh, yeah. Chelsea's the one that got me on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I wrote, because we were talking about it, and I told her, I've always wanted to have a friend named Roman. And now I feel like I do.
He's one of my favorite characters.
He's
too.
perfectly snarky.
Oh, my God. The whole show's
You know how I know it's good? Because there's always an episode where I'm so jealous I didn't get to audition for each one of their roles.
Oh, yeah.
Even Shiv sometimes. So
Shiv?
I'm like, I have red hair. I could have played drag.
Shiv kills it, too.
Really great.
Okay, so sometimes we touch on fashion on this podcast.
Oh,
so,
shit.
I mean, it's perfect question for you.
This week.
No. Have you had any weird fashion phases where you, wore something ridiculous, and now looking back,
God,
you're like, what the fuck?
Many.
What things?
First of all, what was cool in the early 90s is because I had to be accepted.
Okay.
I was codependent.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, cool. We're wearing our clothes backwards, like crisscross, and I'll try that, and I'll try
shit.
that, and I'll try that, and I'll try that. And so I'll do lines in the side of my head.
You had that?
A little bit of that.
You had lines in the side of your head shaved?
Now this is all like coming off of like my mom controlled me forever.
Yeah,
like
Catholic
I was penny
school.
loafers. Yeah. And then as soon as I got out on my own and could make my own choices,
it's
I
over.
made poor ones. Very poor
Okay.
ones from the
Okay.
beginning.
Okay.
But it never. I've never been. Like I've never been like a Youssef where you're like looking at it, you're like, oh, that guy is one step ahead. I've always been like the last guy into the party, still wearing what everybody else is kind of wearing, in the sense of like just playing it safe. But also, I like comfort. I've learned as I get older, I like comfort. But yeah, I've had bad periods.
What else?
Cavaricis. But I mean, that was what everybody else did.
Those jeans? Are those jeans?
Well, yeah, those are the ones with the little like pleated. They're like 1,000 pleats up front, and they all came together.
That.
Like,
you would wear those?
Yeah.
What else?
Well, I mean, I had I'm trying to think of in high school basketball jerseys to school.
You would?
Yep.
Did it make you feel like you were part of something?
Something.
Yeah.
Can't beat me up if I'm wearing a jersey, right?
Right.
If I'm part of a club.
Yeah. If it's the right club.
Yeah, and then like, look, I frosted my tips and my hair.
Did?
There's been bad hair decisions. Look, this hair is sort of like a chia pet, so it's always going to come back.
Right.
That's what you know. Like,
okay.
I got genetics, I'm blessed.
Right. You have a full head of hair.
Full head of hair. So, but what you do with it, that's up to you.
Yeah.
You can shave it. Like, I did that show Punked, so I had one kind of hairstyle, and then they were like, well, you got to do more, so they tried to change. One time they shaved at the very end.
Okay.
They shaved my head and then dyed it black, and I looked like Eddie Munster. I mean, straight up, it was like, I looked like a gorilla.
How long did you have it for?
How long? It took me like probably a month to get it to like this length.
Oh my God, and it was black?
Like your jet black.
That's crazy. I can't imagine you with that hair color.
Terrible. One time I combed it
Eddie
down and I
Munster.
looked like a serial killer. Like I look vastly different.
Vastly different.
But I do. I'm one of probably the few guests you've ever had. I use there's this hair straightener. Usually like black people use it to straighten their hair. I use it too.
What's it called?
Dark and Lovely is the one I use.
It's not called Dark and Lovely.
I swear to God, I think it is. I know it by the box. It's purple.
Okay.
It's got no lye in it. And
Okay.
it's essentially like, it's like chemicals. And because my hair gets all wavy up front.
Okay.
So sometimes I just want it straight so it's just like easier.
Right.
So I put it on and I comb it in up front.
Okay.
And I never read the box. I just watched someone do it once.
Okay.
And like I've sizzled myself before. You can like, if you leave that on too long, you will
you
sizzle yourself.
Burn your hair.
You literally burn
Did you
the
just
scalp.
say sizzle yourself?
No, you will
like that was like a normal like.
You will burn your scalp and sizzle your scalp.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
Sizzle your scalp
Yeah.
from straightening it.
Yeah. So
is it like something you plug in?
No.
Or is it
This
like
is
a
a chemical.
gel?
This is a chemical. Like you mix this shit together. There's this goop. Then you have to mix the activator
You're like a
into
fucking
the goop.
chemist, is what you're telling me.
You mix this together. Then you put gloves on. You work it through your hair. You comb it through your hair.
Please make a video of yourself doing this.
I probably should.
You should. Like, you know
well,
how
now
all
that
those...
the cat's out of the bag, it's the first time I've ever told anyone I did this.
You should definitely make a video, like how those bitches on Instagram do like their skincare regimen.
Yeah, I should do my sizzle my scalp straightener videos.
Please,
yeah,
people want to see it.
I mean, that's essentially what you do, and you work it in. I leave it in for about. I leave it in till I feel
this is fucking ridiculous.
like 10 seconds of tingle in my hair.
And then you're like.
Then it comes with its own shampoo and own conditioner. Then you got to get into the shower and you got to get it out. Then you wash it out, like you rinse it out. Then you shampoo with the shampoo they gave you. I conditioner it with the conditioner they gave me.
Okay.
Then I use my own conditioner again because the conditioner fucking stinks. It's like brutal. It's bad smell. So I just get a good smell. Yeah, the chemicals don't smell great. So to get a good smell, and I use my own conditioner. So I double condition.
He double condition.
Then I'm out.
Okay.
Then I just comb it straight.
Okay.
And then I won't like go in the pool or like
nothing fun.
Nothing. Yeah. Like I probably won't even wash it for like another 2 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So how often are you sizzling your scalp?
I don't know. It used to be like 3 times a year, but now I probably maybe once a year.
So it keeps it straight?
It will straighten. It'll be straight for like. I mean, if you had long hair, it'd be for a while. But
It's like a Brazilian blowout that
basically,
you give yourself
but I'm doing
at
it myself.
home.
It's $7.49 at Walgreens. Sometimes it's on sale for
Please
$6.
make it a video of you doing this. It's so
probably
funny.
like I don't, to be honest with you, I haven't told many people and never said it in public before.
Well, I'm so glad
because
that
I'm
you're
afraid
saying it
people are
here.
going to be like, you're not supposed to be doing that. Like
You're
it's gonna.
probably not.
I don't want to
Yes.
know bad news. Do you understand that?
I get it. Ignorance is fucking bliss.
It's not for me.
No. Well, that's our episode. It's an abrupt ending, but why not end on sizzling your scalp? Where can our listeners find you, and do you have anything coming up you'd like to promote?
I don't necessarily. I'm going on tour, so I don't know. My website has all my tour dates, steverannazzisi.com.
Okay, cool.
At Steve Rannazzisi on Instagram. I'm not on Twitter anymore, even though my page is up there. They lock me out, and then I need a password to get to the password. I'm done. I couldn't figure it out.
No.
I wash my hands of it. It's up there.
you
Say
don't
what
know
you
your
want. Whatever.
password.
Hate me on it. I don't care. I'm not on it. I can't get it. I don't want it. It's over.
Wait.
So it exists, but if you what my point is, if you got to get to me and you want to talk to me,
Instagram?
don't go to Twitter. Go to Instagram.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I
You're
appreciate
a
it.
great guest. And thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Shank. Please make sure to subscribe